Good morning, students. So welcome back to our physics class again. Now in today's class we will going to continue with our chapter energy, and in this chapter we will going to talk about the topic power. So in the previous class I have already discussed about power. What is the definition of power? It is the rate of doing work, means how much amount of work has been done in unit time. So that is the definition of power, and this is the formula of power also, that power is equals to work done upon time taken, means how much work has been done in what amount of time. So if the work is done in unit time, that will be set as power. Now what does it mean? It means that power will be greater if the work is done in a smaller time. So suppose if some amount of work has been done and that amount of work has been done in small amount of time. So if you consume small amount of time, small time period has been taken to do the same amount of work, in that condition you can say that the power is more. Whereas if the power will be smaller, in which condition? If the work done is done in larger time. So if you take more amount of time to do the same amount of work, so you will say that power is less. Like suppose if I take example, suppose a person do a work of 1000 joule. Okay, how much amount of work a person has done? 1000 joule. In the first case, he has taken a time of 30 seconds. In the second case, he has taken a time of 60 seconds, suppose. So, same person has done 1000 joule of work in two different time periods. In the first case, he has taken 30 seconds. In the second case, he has taken 60 seconds. So what will be the power for the first case? So work is 1000 upon time is 30. 33.33. The value of power will be near about 33.33. Whereas in the second case, 1000 upon 60. 2 3s are 250, the 50 upon 3, 16.66. So you can see that if I have doubled the time period, the power has become half. The power has become half. So the same amount of work, if it is done in less amount of time, lesser period of time, more power will be generated. Okay, but if the same amount of work has been done in more amount of time, then less amount of power will be generated. Now the unit of power. So what is the standard unit of power? So we know that the formula of power is work done upon time taken. But what is the unit of work? Joules. And what is the unit of time? That is seconds. So the standard unit of power will become joule per second, and this joule per second is simply written as watt. So the unit of power becomes watt. W-A-T-T watt. And for the case of bigger units, okay, for the case of bigger units, the unit of power is kilowatt, and 1 kilowatt is equals to 1000 watts. So generally we measure power in watts, and if you talk about bigger units, then kilowatt is used, and 1 kilowatt is actually equals to 1000 watt. But the SI unit of power is joule per second, and which is also written as watt. So this is about the standard unit of power. Now let us talk about some differences between energy and power. So as we know what is energy, now we know what is power also. Let us talk about some differences. So basically energy and differences are two different terms. So what are the differences? Here are some common differences are there. First one, energy is the capacity to do work. So as from the definition we know that energy is the capability or capacity to do work. Whereas power is the amount of energy transferred in unit time, means how much amount of energy has been transmitted in unit time, that is known as power. So from its formula you can say that work upon time. Work means, which is related to energy, means how much amount of energy has been transmitted in unit time. So this is the first difference. Second one, energy, it does not depend upon time. So how much amount of energy has been utilized, it is not dependent upon time, but power is dependent upon time, because how much amount of energy has been transmitted in unit time. So because that time is there, that means you can say that power depends upon time. Then the SI unit of energy is joules, because the unit of work, the unit of energy, it is same, it is joule. Whereas the standard unit, the SI unit of power is watt. So that is joule per second, which is basically known as watt. Now energy can be stored. You can store energy somewhere. Okay, like our body also stores some amount of energy to do different activities in day-to-day life. Similarly, you can say that energy can be stored, whereas power, it cannot be stored. So these are the differences which you have to learn between energy and power. Now one more thing is there which you should know, that there is some another kind of unit is there. So another unit of power is there which is known as horsepower. So horsepower is also very popular unit which is used by Britishers actually. So it is also known as a kind of a British unit. Okay, the time of Britishers it was basically used, that is known as horsepower, and 1 horsepower is equals to 746 watt. So when the power consumption is equals to 746 watt, okay, that means it is known as 1 horsepower. So 2 horsepower, which is equals to 2 into 746 watt. 1492 watt. So this is how more number of horsepower means more amount of power will going to be produced. So this is basically used, this was used to be basically used in motor cars, motor vehicles, in order to measure how much amount of power it can generate. So those cars basically they were used, the unit in which it was measured, the power consumption of that motor vehicles or motor car is basically horsepower. So this is another unit of power which you should know. Now let us discuss some questions which are based on the factors. So question number 1 is there, state the factors responsible for the work done by our body. So under which factor or what factors you can say that the work has been done by our body. So the factor number 1 is the magnitude of force applied, means how much amount of force has been applied. If the force has been applied on the body, then only the condition number 1 says that if the force has been applied by the body, then only the work you can say has been done. First condition should be the magnitude of force applied. That means there has to be some amount of force should be applied. Second one, the displacement of the body. If the force has been applied by the body, then there should be some displacement. That means the body should have shifted by some distance in a particular direction. So both the conditions are important. These are the two factors by which you can say that work has been done. Now list two situations when no work is done. Now you are trying to do a work, but work has not been done or zero work has been done. List those two situations. So situation number 1 is there when there is no force applied. So if you do not apply the force, automatically you can say that no work has been done. And situation number 2 is there when force is applied but there is no displacement. So you are applying a force, like suppose if you are pushing a wall. Okay, so when you are pushing the wall, you are actually applying a force, but will that wall will going to shift from one place to another place? Since the wall will not going to move from its position, so you can say that the displacement is 0, and since the displacement is 0, the overall work is also 0. So both the conditions are not, if any of the condition is not satisfied, you can say that work done is 0. So there are many other different conditions under which you can say that work done will be 0, because maybe there is no force or maybe there is no displacement or 0 displacement. So this is about some questions which I wanted to discuss about the factors. Now since we have studied what is energy, what is work, what is power, their formulas, so let us discuss some numericals which is based on power and work. So first numerical is based on power. A machine does 240 joules of work. So how much amount of work the machine does? 240 joules. So you can write down in given part work done. How much amount of work has been done? that is equals to 240 joules in 40 seconds. What is the time period? 40 seconds. What you have to calculate? Calculate the power of the machine. So we know that the formula of power is work done upon time taken. So work done is 240 joules upon time taken is 40 seconds. 0 0 cancel, 6 star. So it will become 6 joule per second or 6 watt. So how much power has been produced by the car? 6 watt of that by machine, that is 6 watt of power has been produced. So this is a simple numerical. Similarly, you can do different types of numericals which are based on formulas. There is one more numerical which is based on work and power. So let us talk about this numerical. A machine consumes a power of 20 watt. How much amount of power the machine is consuming? So it is given that power is 20 watt in 0.5 minutes. Time is given as 0.5 minute. Now we know that the standard unit of time is seconds. So 0.5 minute means half minute, and in half minute how many seconds are there? 30 seconds are there. 0.5 minutes simply means half minute. We know that in 1 minute 60 seconds are there, so in half minutes 30 seconds will be there. So the time is 30 seconds. Now what you have to calculate? Calculate the work done. So you have to calculate the work done by this machine. So the formula of power is work upon time. Since we have to calculate work, time is dividing the side, it will come this side and multiply. So power into time will become work. How much is power? 20 watt into time is 30 seconds. How much amount of work has been produced? 600 joule of work has been done by this machine. So this is how you have to do some numericals so that you can understand the logic behind this power, work and time. So this is about this chapter. We have discussed work also. We have discussed conditions under which the work can be done, conditions under which the work cannot be done. Then we have discussed about energy, various types of energies. Then we have discussed transformation of energy from one form to another form, how energy gets transferred. Then we have talked about power also, and then we have discussed differences between power and energy and some numericals also. So these are the things which you have to study so that you can understand the whole concept of this chapter. Try to solve some simple numericals so that you can learn the things more in detail. Thank you, students.